Hi, welcome to this system. It's the flagship. So this is XFCE we're working on, and the video we're gonna make is all about how to install ArcoLinuxD and then Awesome. But it's more general than just D. The sense that it's important for our users to know there are 4 ways to install any desktop. Option 1 is yes, ArcoLinuxD. Use the desktop. The D stands for desktop. The D stands for decide, and so it is decide the desktop, right? Decide XFCE on box i3, decide any of the desktops, 20 desktops to choose from. Now, that's option 1 if you want to start with ArcoLinuxD. You can click it. It's simple. It's Calamaris. It's clickable. It's installed after 15 minutes and it's gonna work. The thing is, you can also use option 2 and say, nope, I'm not gonna use Calamaris. Well, yes, I am gonna use Calamaris, but not for the desktop. I'll decide if I want to have Firefox. I will decide if I want Atom and so on. And that's using scripts. Scripts can be changed. Scripts can be edited. So that's the point. Use and reuse our scripts. Option 3 is go to ArcoLinuxB, and yes, you can download it. It's no problem. Go download it from SourceForge, all the ArcoLinuxBs you can get. But the point, the project, the idea behind the build your own ISO is that, well, basically you should build your own ISO the way you see fit. If you want to have Steam on your ISO on whatever desktop you like, you put it on there, build the script, and run the script, I mean, build the ISO. Have the ISO, burn it on a USB and put it on your machine. Simple as that. It's not difficult. It's a good way to get control over whatever we put in there. If you don't want Firefox and you want Vivaldi, hey, be my guest. It's one hashtag that you delete and it's what hashtag that you put in, and that's it. And last but not least, the very easy way, whatever you've chosen to use as ArcoLinux standard ISO or desktop, there is always, if installed, ArcoLinux tweak tool, right? And it's super simple. It's a click and decide. Well, it's good that I click deeping. Keep deeping alone. Don't mix it with anything else. That's just advice. So we can install i3 on this XFCE OpenBox i3 machine, so it's the flagship already. So I could do another guy, right? Mate, OpenBox, Plasma. I could change, I could add more desktops to my system if I wanted to. So that's the power that we give you guys. It's super flexible, hence the name Superflex. It's the ArcoLinux tweak tool that gives us this super flexibility to just, hey, with a few clicks, have a different desktop to work in and experiment with. So this is just a click away, not much to show you there, just log out and log in. This is you download something, you install it, it's already documented, it's on here. It gives you, for instance, the latest, the newest is DWM. Let's give it again some attention. Well, this is install, this is building, sorry, this is the video to build it, and this is the video how to install it. And basically watch them, follow it, and you do it, you have the knowledge and you can do it as well. So option 1 and option 2 is the ones we need to document. All right, so Super F7. Let's remove, delete all files, and let's go for the cloning procedure. ALD, we want to install Awesome later on, which is a tiling window manager. So we'll have to think what to do. And we get our ArcoLinuxD, the latest one you can find on the net. You make this big. Why? How? Right Control F to have a full screen so that this simulation, it's still a simulation. It's okay to learn, but it is what it is, right? It's not real metal. If you want to really experience any Linux operating system out there, you have to put it on real metal. The only way. So half of my processor is giving away to this machine. Half of my memory is gone. I mean, hey. And then we wait for the pop-up to come. We have our ArcoLinux Welcome app. 3 things to do, 3 big buttons. Either you want to update Arch mirrors, yes, no, ArcoLinux mirrors. Either you want to clean everything and start with a clean slate. And if all that's done, you say, let's run Calamares. And this is the first version, so future reference always. You decide what language you want to choose, and you go for next. Decide if your computer system needs something more than this, but I suggest you just move through this one and see later if that's necessary to have a Linux LTS kernel. And then you decide if you want to have LightYAM. So if I would like to have option 1, install the desktop using Calamares, I need to do these steps. Option 1. After selecting everything, I end up in a black screen. I say mirror to get the mirror lists in my country. Update. Enable the LightYAM service, scal or not scal. And then sudo reboot, and we get an you're in Awesome in this case, right? You have your desktop that you choose. So I'm not gonna go for a click here, and I'm not gonna go for a click here, right? This is all that it will use to have a system, a desktop, a tiling window manager. And I'm gonna go for option 2. Basically, I'm not clicking is simple, right? Anybody can do that. So I'm gonna use option 2 in this video. I've done other videos where indeed I just click. And then, so basically, and let's go back. I did not change anything. There's no click anywhere. I'm not downloading anything. I'm not updating anything. I mean, I'm not installing anything. So this is the fastest way, the most minimal way to install ArcoLinux, and then be in control to say, okay, I have my own scripts, or I will type my commands later on to install sudo pacman -s Firefox. I'm gonna go for the newest version, newest possible option here. Swap to file. And we're going to let the machine do its thing. And in the meantime, we can talk a little bit more here. So later on, option 2 is going through the motions, but not actually installing anything, right? No LightYAM, there is no i3, there is no open box, there is no desktop. It will be plain TTY, black screen. And what we need to do is mirror, update, and clone something. Now the cloning is always different. It's just a link that's different. Arco Awesome is going back to ArcoLinuxD GitHub, looking for Awesome. Cool. Then we have here the scripts you can use and reuse. This is all the scripts you need to have an awesome desktop. A rather minimal one, but you can make it more minimal, because here, number 200, it says this is the function to install something, and here we are installing things. Function install something, right? Name, and the name is something in the list. So I'm installing variety, I'm installing atom, meld, sublime text. If you don't want it, delete this text, and it won't be installed. So reuse our scripts. And not everybody is working with GIMP or Inkscape, is busy with SVGs and designing, but it's now in the list, so it will be installed, and it's up to you to make this script your script. We've put a lot of work into it. Now you can reuse it, and you have less time changing it, so it becomes your personal kind of setup. You reuse our scripts. Let's go one up. This one is the most important one, in the sense that here we install the display manager, which is LightYAM for us, and we install our own packages, our own ArcoLinux LightYAM, which makes it nicer, and all the packages we've created to have Awesome and all the rest to have a complete desktop. So this is the most important one. Then we do a scal, if you already know what the alias is. So basically this is scal. And then we enable the LightYAM. So we've chosen for LightYAM, so we enable it, and even with some force. So if you have been doing all kinds of things with GDM and SDDM and so on, it will be overwritten anyway. It will be forcefully overwritten, just to be safe, that the script stays working. And later on, you decide more. Let's have a look at the time here. Okay, still need some time. Later on, we decided that we needed, as a beta testers, as a core team, that we needed all of this. Let's go over them, make an image, make a video, chat with somebody, look something up, compare something, take a screenshot, and then an editor and a browser. That's it. That's all we need. That's the minimal packages we need to investigate any new desktop we're making, right? Install sound if you want some sound, some music. If you don't need Bluetooth, if you want Bluetooth, if you want printers, if you want to share something in your network, if you have a laptop, and if you want to discover other computers at home in your network. And all the other things, right? Now 500, 600 is important. This is just software from third parties, so somebody else, and this is the same. It's also third party, but it's super big, so hence the name extra large. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just do an update, but make it a little bit bigger. I know that already. Make it a little bit bigger. You can read the text behind it. So, okay, sure, why not do an update? We have here the repo, third party, and extra large. Hence the names, right? Third party, extra large. And here we have the soul of ArcoLinux. If you want to have more or less the same thing and ArcoLinuxB, it's 500 and 600. That will make it feel like an ArcoLinux installation. Starting with an ArcoLinuxD, which is an empty thing, right? An empty box, or you could say it's the red plate you use when you're building your Lego blocks, or when you're playing with Lego, right? You have this plate, this square where you put your Lego blocks in. That's that. And then when you build up with scripts. Sorry. Let's drink a little bit. All right, going to line 3, since I'm a VirtualBox. I need to tell them, hey, don't install again. Put from the SSD. Well, so what does the article say? The article says I need to log in. All right, what else? Option 2, installing the desktop with scripts. Mirror. Cool, mirror. I can do that. Basically, nothing changes for ArcoLinux. Nothing at all. This is ArcoLinux. Now I have the fastest ArcoLinux for Belgium. Then I update my system, hoping that the download will be fast, the video will be short, and here you see the new Linux kernel coming in, 5.9.8. And at this point in time, let's have a quick look. I'm in TTY3 now. I'm at 5.9.1. Control F2, Control F3, Control F4, or was I? Control F1. I was on TTY1. And we'll wait for everything to install. So that's the update process. What I can teach you as well in Control F3, that update, that's nice, but update is not there in phase 5. Phase 5 is saying, I want to learn all there is to know about ArcoLinux, ArcoLinux, but at some point in time you want to go away from ArcoLinux and start with the ISO of ArcoLinux. And then later come again with, oh, I'm missing this, I'm missing that on ArcoLinux. And that's the spice up ArcoLinux. So getting ArcoLinux stuff on an ArcoLinux ISO. Basically, it's again a super big Lego box. And we all start with ArcoLinux and we build everything up, and you can build it down again, break it up like the real Lego thing. Just scatter all the boxes again, meaning sudo pacman -rs, right? Remove everything again and then start installing again with sudo pacman -s. It's so much fun, right? It's all there. It's a playground for adults. Could be a good slogan. Maybe people will understand something else. Control F1. Not done yet. Almost done yet. You saw the Linux kernel. It's still there in the middle. 598 arch1-1, right? So we need to reboot. There is a Linux kernel and we are getting our new mirror list for ArcoLinux. We'll be patient. And then we say sudo reboot. So my system is up to date. Cool. What else do we need to do? Well, it's a good thing to see how many packages actually are on my machine, in the sense of, well, the amount is there in NeoFetch, 589. That's the amount. I was referring to how many ArcoLinux things are online. Control C, yeah, thank you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I count correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. Right? This is the most minimal thing, and the NeoFetch is there for that. The wallpapers to greet you, the welcome app to greet you, the mirror list. Hey, we need the mirror list if you want ArcoLinux packages. The keyring, we need the keyring, and the grub is nice if we boot up some colors, and then the ArcoLinuxD system configuration overall. So this is the most minimal thing I can give you, we can give you. Now, Control C. It's building time. I'm not building. It's building in the sense of we have this Lego square, and now what package do you like? What thing you want to install, right? Do you like LightTM? Do you like Mate? Do you like Plasma? What do you want to have? And we're going to follow option 2, of course. Git clone and say let's reuse all the time and effort ArcoLinux has put into ArcoLinuxD, and then the scripts. But you can type everything, just as long as you know what to type. And the cheat sheet, maybe a good thing to make a reference in the video here. Installation. So ArcoLinux.info, we have documents, download documents, cheat sheet. Okay, cool. What's that? 10,000 downloads. Why do people download this thing? Because it gives you an overview. If you want to have awesome, you need this and that. If you want to remove awesome, you need to remove awesome and vicious. So sudo pacman -rs and all the other packages. These are the essential things you're really gonna need. And these are other settings that you might need. And the more you go to here, the less you need it, right? So that's the idea. And there are 2 pages. All right, so just, you know, the existence of the cheat sheet. So, ls, this is what I downloaded. This is the GitHub we went and have a look. So, basically, just start with the smallest number and end with the biggest number and done. So, let's get this. LightTM is being installed. It's too quick to read, right? Just goes on. Awesome is installed, I saw that. And so on, and so on, and so on. You can always do in nano if you want to, and have a read, so you can have a look, and then with the arrow key you go down. Tab key is also interesting, it's a bit quicker. But basically LightTM, greeter, the wallpaper tuner is there. We have terminal, you know, the F12 we like. It's the XFCE terminal that pops out, drops down. And would miss it if would be on another operating system, I would miss my F12, surely. So awesome vicious, awesome git is there, awesome dconf is there, configuration is there. So basically we're good to go to do a sudo reboot. We don't need to do a scal in this case, because line 80 to 81, 83, 84, that's scal. Code it in. Let's boot into awesome. So it's still very minimal. LightTM is present, working. Awesome is there. And the only thing I need to do is log in. And there we go. We can quit this thing, but it will be auto started again. Now I do quit, it's not gonna pop up anymore. So the only thing I have here is this sign network manager. So I have internet, I can go to my wireless, I can have a VPN, etc. But all the rest, well, yeah, Super Shift D is not even present. Super Shift D is not there. So the D menu is not working. Control Alt T is working. It looks very strange to me, but hey, this is ArcoLinuxD. This is your XVT, and you still have a lot of things to install. But that's the point, right? It's not finished. cd arco awesome ls. We just did one of them. Do you want to have sound? Maybe I want to have listen to music. Printers, laptop, software, ArcoLinux, and so on and so on. If you want to have more the look of ArcoLinux, 500 software distro specific. Distro specific means ArcoLinux. Oh, lots of packages come in. And somewhere in here, probably is going to be the D menu. There it is already. You see the yellow thing at the top? Super Shift D. On all our tiling menu managers, we always use the same key bindings. Otherwise, it would be too confusing. Okay. 600. More stuff, more ArcoLinux elements. Some of them are already installed. It would be just skipped. I just saw the ArcoLinux tweak tool, by the way, Ctrl-Alt-E, which means you just install more stuff, right? I have awesome. Somebody said on Telegram, BSPWM is nice. Well, install it. Super X, log out. You have BSPWM. Have fun with BSPWM. Right? There you go. So it is super freedom. You can do whatever you want with ArcoLinux, and that's the point. Ooh, doesn't respond here. Let's try it again. Yeah, probably still missing some packages here. So Super Shift Enter. Arco awesome. I think I better reboot since it's not responding. The sound is not working. So do you see the polybar, this flashing thing here? That's not working. So let's reboot this machine and figure things out. It is a Sherlock Holmes story. If you do this, it's a Sherlock Holmes story. If you download ArcoLinux flagship, great. All will be fine. ArcoLinuxD, great. Everything will be fine. So it's really figuring out, but might be also a VirtualBox thing, since I don't seem to be able to click here. It just might be that, but I can log in. So that's cool. So I can say to the system, file system, etc, lightym.conf. Now I have no editor. That is not nice, this thing. F12. This is the drop down XFC terminal. Sudo pacman -s. Sublime text, please. Much nicer. So, right mouse click, other application, Sublime text, forever, open. And then put this guide to Perl. It's so much quicker. Everything black is not important. Everything white is important. And I can say here, auto login session, awesome. So we see our awesome back. And I think that's enough. Let's try it out. So we know it. Control save. Wants to know my password. And then we reboot. And we're skipping all this VirtualBox problems. Not able to change my login here. No, it doesn't want to do it. Now he is responding for whatever reason. It really is a VirtualBox thing, really. Trust us, no matter. All right. Lots of other things to do, lots of other things to figure out, lots of other things to add to the system. Like I said, either you do this all the time, every time you do a new clean installation, you say I want to have Vivaldi, I want to have Dropbox, I want to have InSync, and so on, and it's typing all the time. But why not use a file that you run, and all you need to do is make sure it's executable, this file, and it contains the same thing. It contains sudo pacman -s Vivaldi, Dropbox, InSync, and so on and so on. All right, have fun, guys, with ArcoLinuxD. It's a great tool to experiment with ArcoLinux/ArcoLinux.